Okay, so upcoming IPO, Crest Group Berhad just released its IPO details. 35 cents per share, market cap of 300 million odd, and PE of around 14 on the surface seems fair, right? We've seen a lot higher PEs before. But before we move on, the important dates, closing of application would be the 25th of September. So by the time you watch this, it will be tomorrow. All right, so now moving on. Before that, just a short ad break from Jonathan.
Yes. So if you are interested to subscribing this Crest Group Berhad's IPO, you can do it with Mumu. You can check out the links will be in the description and comments. And if you want to know the step-by-step on how to apply for the IPO stocks in Mumu, you can check out using the links over here. We'll put the cards around here. And also, before you make any deposit, make sure to search out for exclusive deposit and then tap on join now and key in this code FIRL24, FIRL24, and you can get a 40 ringgit cash voucher when you deposit at least 1,000 ringgit. And also, Mumu has this Cash Plus program where you can earn up to 3.5% annualized, and it is a low-risk fund that has a higher return than fixed deposit. And what's best is that you can invest as low as 1 cent, and you can withdraw it at any time with no cost. So if you're interested in all of these things, make sure to check out Mumu using our referral link in the description and comments. Now back to the video.
Okay, so let's start with the business as usual. So they are a distributor of imaging, analytical, and test solutions. So the direct comparison or the close comparison of this would be QES Group. They are in the tech sector, so to speak, but they are mainly a distributor of equipments and things like that.
Yes.
So guide us through a little bit on the other stuff.
Yeah. So exactly what you mentioned just now, they are a mirror of QES. And later we're going to be sharing more on their team. There's a lot of interesting information over there. Yeah, so two main business. One is basically they help the principal to distribute the machines that they have, your X-ray, your optical equipment, all those stuff. And then they also do these maintenance services, your technical support, which is under the provision and after sales service. So the left-hand side one, this one is more of a non-recurring because you need to get those machines from their principal, then they sell it, then that's it. Whereas for the maintenance, that one's more recurring because you can, set up a particular contract with their customers and they can maintain and fix those stuff. So this is basically the service that they offer. And the main customer that they serve is actually the end user customer. So these customers are in the semicon.
Basically everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere, yeah. Automotive, oil and gas, aviation, universities and all those stuff. And they also sell to these intermediaries, which is your automation solution provider. So I think those are your ATEs and also your dealers. So, but this percentage-wise is only like less than 5%. It's very small.
Yeah. So they do Malaysia, China,
Thailand, and Singapore. And the next one will be Vietnam.
Okay.
They're going to be increasing their presence over there.
Okay, so this is some of the history. Too busy to find stock ideas? Check out FIRL Pro to shortcut your research time and effort by 90%. 10% off link in the comments and description.
Yes.
So just briefly read out ACM or Ao Chun Man, about 41% stake in Crest Group from Tan Kim Sing. Yeah. Then after that, Mr. Lim and Mr. Yap joined Crest Systems. They bought 20 and 18% respectively in 2002, got into China in 2005. They bought LH Technology, which is now Nano Solutions in 2007. Singapore in 2008, 2010 in Thailand, 2014 they established Crest Analytics Lab. I believe this is their research arm, maybe. Yeah. And then in 2017, they bought Matrix Optics Bioscience Innovations.
Yeah, so the Crest Lab, that one is more of a, also actually different name, but their services are kind of similar.
Right.
Yeah. But one thing to highlight is that they are very fast in terms of execution in different markets. So you can see that in 2005, China, 3 years later, Singapore, 2 years later, Thailand. But it took them like 12 or 13 years to venture into Vietnam. So that's actually a long period. Yeah. But you can see that there's very fast execution over here in terms of different market expansion.
Okay, so you guys can pause and then go and look through all the different products here. We're not going to read through all of them. But we can see there's a there's a division between advanced, high range, and routine.
Yes. So the differences in this level is based on also indicates different prices.
Yeah, probably more
yeah,
expensive for advanced. Yeah.
So routine is more on 300 to 500k per machine. This one is this one is 300k. High range is around 300k to 500k, and then advanced is 500k and above. So that's how you can like differentiate.
Wow.
Yeah, so this is a very complicated diagram or chart, but just to explain it briefly, this is the semiconductor back-end processor. So you can see these very shaded diagram over here. These are all the manufacturing processes, and then the gray color one, those are what Crest Group actually supply in terms of those machines. So you can see that you have semi-automated, fully automated wafer machine, and yeah, basically there's a whole bunch of machines that they need to supply just for that particular process. Yeah, that tells you like, probably can tell you how great their business is. The TAM also is going to be like quite big also. Okay, this one is their operation. So just now I mentioned 85% is non-recurring. You can see that these are the few machines that they actually distribute. The one on the second one, solution using optical and portable equipment, this one has a higher gross margin. I believe why they have a higher gross margin probably is because it's portable, like quite lightweighted. If you compare between advanced imaging equipment, this one is more on the like a big form.
Okay.
So probably the logistic cost is a little bit more higher. But yeah, you can see that everything is kind of like increasing for these two, for the advanced imaging and also optical and portable equipment. The rest is all like quite small, but their margins are all pretty much pretty similar. And you can see that the provision of after sales service, this one is a little bit small and it's on the downtrend because there's just less stuff for them to maintain because probably they just like gave the customers those machines. And yeah, so and obviously with the maintenance and technical support, the gross margin is higher because it's a service-based services. Okay, cost of sale breakdown. Very straightforward. This is like a drop shipping business. Basically, you acquire machines and then you just distribute it into your customer. So yeah, your cost of sales 95% is coming from equipment. Okay, geographical sales coverage, 62% is export. This is similar to QES as well. 40-60, 40% being in Malaysia. Then the rest is all just Thailand, China, Singapore, and others. Yeah, okay, so you can see that their business is very non-recurring. You can see major customer for ACD. First few years only they have revenue, but in 2023, then suddenly they are gone already.
Only EG and then
EG. This one is a recent one, 2 years. So previously they were also not there. So it's like you have to always find new customers.
Yeah, even for E, like almost half the revenue, right?
Yes, correct. Just for that particular 2022.
Yep. So sometimes numbers tell the full story or big story, big part of the story.
Okay, major supplier. So they have two major supplier over here. You can see is A and B.
Which they don't say?
They don't say, but we can roughly guess based on their achievement, kind of like award that they get from the customer.
Yeah, it is very similar to how we found out Dufu Technologies.
So this one is Nordson, and also Evident, which is I cannot remember what's the name of the group. I think it's like Optical something private limited. But we don't know are they which is A and which is B. For
you guys can
Nordson.
go to their website. This should be visible through their website. The names, right?
Yes.
So this is public information, guys. We're not.
Yeah, correct. You can just find it very easily. Okay, a few fun facts over here. They have a lot of principals, 23 principals from France, Germany, Japan, Malaysia, Switzerland, UK, and USA, and 12 are exclusive. It means they have like a certain agreement with them. Just now mentioned the customers are Nordson, Mini Circuit, TFAMD, and Evident Scientific. And also I mentioned that 5% are sold to intermediaries, which is your dealers and automation solution. Warranty. So they also do offer warranty up to 1 year or probably a certain number of equipment operational hour. And you can see that they also disclose how many claims, warranty claims that they did for that particular financial year. So it's 4, 5, 19, and then 24. I don't know why it gets more and more. Probably because the number of machines they sell is more. So maybe there's like some more defects, the risk of getting more defects is
Maybe just numbers, right? It's just a lot of large numbers.
Yes, correct.
Probably.
Yeah,
but I think it's worth tracking the percentage. So do we know how many of these machines are sold? No, right?
No, we don't know.
But we can roughly guesstimate from the revenue, right?
If you assume
let's
each
say
product
about
300K,
3 to 400, because they break down in terms of the tier, right?
Yeah.
So if you're hardworking, you can probably get an educated guesstimate. It's good to compare the ratio because it doesn't really matter whether it grew from 4 to 24, right? But if the revenue grew by more than 6 times, then it's fine.
Yeah. So let's say like probably around 180 million, let's say average 400K, maybe that's like, I don't think it still makes sense. So
500?
it's like four, because it's like four machines or 40 machines.
Right, but 500 machines,
Yeah,
right?
if-
So
yeah,
let's say 400,000.
Yeah,
They get it right.
400,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, around that figure lah. So that's like around maybe 10% or maybe less than that of the warranty claim. But this one is all just like we are just projecting, guesstimating.
It's just back of envelope. Won't be super accurate for sure.
Yeah. Okay. The lead time over here is very fast also. They just take
standard.
2
I mean,
weeks
you're
to 4
just
months.
buying and selling, right?
Yeah,
Just
it's drop
middleman
shipper
job,
lah, basically. Yeah, and we have this FIRL Pro information on Crest Group IPO briefing. And this is what we have. Some of the information that we can share with you guys is they don't really the after sales service is not walk in the park, and they need like overseas training to do that. And also the advantage of doing this after sales service is to minimize downtime for their customer. And why they can expand into new market is because probably their existing clients want them to expand. So this is only just 3 information. There is actually a lot of information over there. So if you're interested, you can check out FIRL Pro using the 10% coupon at the description below. Okay, team. Now, why I say this is an interesting part is because all of these directors have
XQES.
Yeah, they are all XQES. It's similar to Edeltech.
Yes.
So the Edeltech one, that one is a Me Technologian.
Yeah.
So this one is QES.
Will there be a lawsuit?
No, this I think it should be fine because they are not really like a high role. Like for Edeltech, I think he mentioned that he's like a CEO for a certain.
Basically, it's a fake designation that he gave, or at least it was alleged that it was fake.
Yes, correct. But this one is more on the deputy manager. So their highest role is just manager,
Okay.
and they joined Crest.
Very early.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm seeing the math correctly, they joined when they were 28 and 30.
Yes, they are very young.
When they left. So it's quite long ago. I mean, I imagine it'd be quite different nowadays, right? The business.
Yes.
But anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, this is just some fun fact. And they joined almost the same time. So probably internally they have discussed this before. Okay, offer for sale. So they'll be selling some of the shares, and this is the profit that they will be making. Cumulatively, they're going to be making about 30.31 million for in terms of everything. And not only that, they also did declare some dividends before IPO. So the total number that they managed to claim, it is around 58 million. So you add all together, it's around like 80 plus.
So 20 million per
million.
person, give or take. Yeah.
Yes. But just to also highlight, they still own about 70%
of the company.
of the company after IPO. So there's still quite a huge stake in terms of the equity. Okay, Remuneration, they're also going to be increasing their salary and bonuses, especially. So you can see that over here, bonuses is like tripling already. But yeah, that's just something for you to know. But what I like about this company is that they have a great incentive and also a career progression. So they did hire one of their key management personnel. He's actually from a technical support engineer. Then slowly, after a few years, also probably is because he did deliver the result, and now he is a general manager. And he also got offered some shares in terms of QES. I think he gets about like 250K worth of shares. So yeah, a good career progression for Crest Group, and also they offer share-based compensation for their key senior management. This I think is very standard procedure lah. Very small team also. Majority, I'll say the key guys you want to look at is the number of sales and marketing as well as service and support, because sales and marketing, obviously you want to like market their product or market their services to the public, and service and support is basically people that can do maintenance work and technical support for their customer. So that's why these two are the key to grow for their business. So if you see the number increases for that one, probably the revenue or profit will increase in the for Crest. Okay, industry, there's a few things that you can look at. They didn't like forecast what's the growth in the future for 2023 to 2025. They just say the past number only. You can see that the average CAGR from 2019 to 2023 for Malaysia, this one is about like 8% CAGR, but this one is just like past data only. It may not represent the future, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting data. You can see that it's growing at 8% every single year. For China, it is growing at 5%. This one is very, very low only. And then you can see that Thailand, Singapore, and also Vietnam, they are also very small digit, only like 3%, 3%, and 2%. Not sure why Malaysia is the only one that is having a lot. Maybe
well, I mean, they know, probably they know the market, right?
Yeah.
Like,
probably,
I mean, I compare it with another distributor, not exactly the like-for-like comparison, but VS Tech, right? The strength they have is that they're so dominant in this market. Almost every company, they know, they have the names, and they're in their Rolodex. So I think home court advantage plays a big role.
Okay, peers. So this is Crest, where they are positioned at. They are the second place. Not many competitor actually in this space, and QES is just on top over there, and they kind of are catching up. I think
It seems their GPM is better.
Yeah. Their GPM right now is better. I don't know, maybe it's because the product that they distribute is have a higher margin as compared to QUS. But QUS also is going to go up the value chain. So they're going to do manufacturing instead of just distribution. So that will kind of like improve their margin in the future. But Crest Group, for a company that just do purely distribution, you can see the margin is actually much better, which is quite a surprise. I'm pretty sure I think Crest can kind of catch up to QUS in the future, or maybe even after IPO. Okay, numbers, this is a very quick one. Everything is growing, revenue, profit, and all the stuff. However, revenue growth and profit after tax growth is dropping slightly. This one is kind of like a concern, but at least it's still growing at a double digit. Margins wise, 28%. Profit after tax also around 10%. This is actually very, very high margin for a distribution business. This is another interesting one, which they have a small little operating leverage because the amount of sales and marketing that they spend actually didn't really increase. It's quite unchanged.
Okay.
But the revenue kind of like increased. So you can see that they have some sort of disadvantage in terms of operating leverage. This one I'm not going to show.
Okay.
Net cash.
I mean, your distribution, so why do you have so much debt?
Yeah, cash flow also quite steady also, although it's quite inconsistent.
Payout is about half, I want to say, but sometimes it's higher also than half.
Yes, correct. So it is about 100% for 1 year, and then 190%, if I'm not mistaken, against
but that year was for themselves, right?
Yeah, it's all for themselves. Yeah. Okay, returns, this one is quite inconsistent because this is based on free cash flow. It's just chopping. I mean, it depends on the contracts that they manage to handle and whether there's maintenance work for that particular year. Turnover also is very fast. It takes 40 days only to convert inventory into cash. So it's very, very impressive. Okay, this one is a very short one, growth and risk. So for growth, they are going to be opening a new office in Vietnam, China, and Thailand. They're going to be focusing more on the Vietnam market. I think also because Vietnam's tech, they have like a tech park over there, similar to what is Malaysia doing right now with Puchong, the NSS. Yeah, and rumors says that, not really rumors, but according to the tech experts, they say that Vietnam is actually very big in terms of their tech park, and there's a lot of MNC would like to work there. So Malaysia is kind of like catching up with this NSS program. And also they want to hire more managers and personnel. So that means obviously they want to, there's not lacking of technical support and maintenance team. So they want to boost that revenue, particular revenue segment, and probably it will also increase their margins in the future.
Too busy to find stock ideas? Check out FIRL Pro to shortcut your research time and effort by 90%. 10% off link in the comments and description.
Risks are very standard also. This one is dependent on their principal. As you can see, around 60 to 70% is tied between these two major A and B principle. 85% of the revenue is non-recurring, but they want to improve the recurring revenue higher post-IPO. And another thing is that 76% of the sales and 96% of the purchases are in foreign currency. But what's good is that ringgit is strengthening.
Yes,
so this kind of cancel out. Yeah, kind of cancel out. So it minimizes the foreign forex fluctuation. Okay, final takeaway. It is 3 points. QES IPO at 9 times PE in 2017. Now it is at 26 times. So Crest Group is about 14 times. So you can kind of
14,
see.
You mean?
Yeah, 1.4. Yeah. So there's some sort of lower valuation if you compare to QS at the moment. And another thing that is commendable is management's fast execution. You can see that. I mean, it takes less than 3 years to expand to different types of market. And the last point over here is basically we're going to try to guess how much will it be oversubscribed.
I think it will be oversubscribed by quite a bit, this one.
For me, I'll just put a number, maybe a range. probably it's gonna be oversubscribed around 50 to 80 times.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let us know.
So we shall see whether it will hit 50 to 80 times.
Laugh at us if we fail.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is the final takeaway. And after watching our analysis on Crest, if you like to subscribe to them, you can do it with Mumu. And just now we mentioned, if you want to watch the tutorial on how to get your IPO stocks, make sure to watch it. And make sure to use our code FIRL24 to get a 40 ringgit cash voucher when you deposit 1,000 ringgit. The links will be in the description and comments. Okay, FIRL Pro update.
Yeah, FIRL Pro is a community where if you want to mix with the right kind of investors to find the right kind of ideas for your own portfolio, this is the community to be in. Part of this community includes write-ups that we do that help really speed up your investment research journey, right? Research takes a lot of time, even if you're willing to do it, kids, second job, career, whatever, sometimes can get in the way. So this is your shortcut. The performance has been good, 40% over the past less than 2 years, which I think gives us a CAGR of about 20% odd, right? Much better than a lot of the markets. 3 portfolios, FIRL Pro, Catalyst, and Boring, all for different investment profiles, right? FIRL Pro if you want something dynamic, Catalyst if you want something more short-term, and Boring if you want something that requires very little effort and is very, very, very long-term oriented. Now, you can check out a sample of these reports in our free sample link, comments and description. Just click on them. And guys, hope you enjoyed this IPO video. Let us know which IPO that you want us to cover next in the comments, and we'll see you soon.